and the best way was to keep quiet. But this morning that was not an option. Some days something inside of her would not keep quiet, could not. It insisted that she stand up for herself. "If I'm so useless, it's better I go." Just as her mother tried to respond, Jaya reached for her satchel, knowing already where she was heading, and dashed out of the yard. Her mother chased after her, with her ever-present cane, to beat her daughter if she ever could catch her, screaming every insult she could find at this daughter that caused her such anger. Jaya easily left her mother far behind. Besides being good at drawing, she was an excellent runner, even beating most boys in the village. On the warm boulder, Jaya took up her charcoal and positioned her drawing book on her lap, her legs crossed as she liked, and not in the prim and proper way her mother insisted upon. She sketched a black and yellow oriole as he flitted among the reeds, collecting strips of building material to carry to his nest in the tree. He took time, expertly weaving the strips into the half-finished structure. How Jaya wished she were a bird and could fly far away, away from the mundane household chores and the prison her mother attempted to lock her inside. She'd fly away and build her own little house high up in a tree. If Margie passed underneath, she'd poop on her head. The thought made Jaya smile. And then, almost immediately, she felt sad. 2 nights before, when she was in her bed not quite asleep, she heard her mother outside, crying as softly as possible. Jaya had heard her mother cry like this before, but this time she knew the reason. She'd seen the incident that caused the tears. It was a public humiliation. The most recent in a series of humiliations that began so many years before when she was left a poor widow with 2 young children. The daughter of Margie's childhood friend was getting married. Margie had raised the girl as much as her own parents, and she had been happy to help with some of the pre-wedding preparations at her friend's house. Early on the day of the wedding, when all the village women gathered at the bride's house, Margie put on her best clothes and went to join them in the celebration. When the young bride saw her, she screamed. The friends and neighbours rushed forward and watched as Margie's oldest friend said, "You must go. You know a widow is bad luck. Do you want this marriage to fail?" Jaya was in the crowd that witnessed her mother's humiliation, and they all watched as she turned, said nothing and walked, straight-backed and dry-eyed, to her tiny hut down the dirt lane. A poor widow was the near bottom of the social hierarchy. Pain and humiliation had been part of her mother's life for as far back as Jaya could remember. Margie's only relief was that she was Brahmin, and her firstborn was a hard-working son, Krishnan, a brother to Jaya. What Margie wanted most was for Jaya to grow up quickly and be married off to a good husband. Jaya was beautiful, and that helped, but her way of wandering around in the forest, daydreaming about a life she could never have had, caused rumours in the village that were limiting her chances of finding a good match. This infuriated Jaya's mother, for it was something she knew her daughter had control over, but seemed not to care about. Jaya was already 19, with no husband, and she'd soon be too old for the best prospects. Then what would they do? A widow and an unmarried daughter would starve to death in poverty. Jaya cared nothing about a good match. All the rumours that swirled around the village that she spoke to tigers and swam naked in the river. She preferred people think such things about her. Better reasons for them to leave her alone with her thoughts and her drawings. Jaya dreamt of the day that she would run even further, run away from Kesa and the life she had there, forever. She would miss nothing and no one except her brother Krishnan. In her heart she knew that day, her day of freedom would come, but the only question was when. In some ways, Jaya felt compassion for her mother, but not enough to love her. It was